Hey everybody, it's Kim. I was asked to do a video on what's going on around my farm. This is my sweet little girl Nova. She follows me everywhere. She's totally in love with me. Bob, well, he follows you everywhere because he thinks he's beautiful and you're supposed to tell him so. There's Betty White right there. A couple of chickens. I threw a little handful of cat food out here for him, which it's already gone. My sweet Nova there. And Bob. The other two always go out back because my one girl's blind, mostly blind. She has a very little sight in one eye. But a week ago today, I had some trees trimmed, and prior to that, that green field right there, not the part beyond that, but the green part is all my property. Last week we had a lot of rain, and we had most of that field was flooded. This whole area was flooded. That whole area, you could barely see little islands of grass out there. But we've been in the 80s now for a couple of days. We have a surprise spring, which you know is not going to last. And I'm trying to get a bit done out here. A week ago today, I had the tree trimmer come out and do that apple tree. That's a pear, and then I have two more apples there. I wanted them cut way back, and that was the first trim, and then we're going to come up and make them a little bit better. We took about half the tree off, and we didn't want to go any further because I still hope to get some fruit out of them. Well, when he came out, he knows that he's allowed to bring me as many wood chips as he has. He had a half a truckload and then my trees, and I ended up with a huge pile. This is about half gone. I'd say it was a couple feet taller than that. I knock it from the top so I don't have to lift so much. I've been moving it one load at a time in this concrete mixing tub here because our tractor, the hydraulics on our tractor is broken. My brother's been working on that all week. And my wheels on my wagon are completely flat. I have to get some new ones. So I just come out a few times a day. My back has been really out most of the winter. So I come out and I do maybe 4 of those, and I spread them around in my garden, as you could see here, while I'm cleaning it up, I should say. This area over here, I used to have this thing broke up into two little containers, and I'm just using it now for compost. This area was a mess. I cleaned all the weeds out. It was an area that was hard to get to before. So now I have that all done. Those raspberries, I need to move those. I'm in the process of moving raspberries. I don't know if they'll get done until later in the year, if at all this year, might be next spring, because I've been working back here on these raspberries. These are the same kind here. These are going to get dug out. The other ones up there are the yellow ones, and those have thorns on them. These do not. These are thorn-free raspberries that I got sometime in the 90s in an exchange group I was in. And I've been moving them from house to house, and I planted one row. Well, it was kind of a little bit wider when I moved in here in 2015. Well, that row got to be that whole area. So what I did a couple of days ago, I went right down the middle of the two, and I dug out this entire section all through here, and I'm going to be replanting those in a different part of the garden. But you can see I've just finished up some of the mulch. I did this row just now, and I did those two areas back there, and my back started to bother me, but I thought I'd come out and give you an update. So this row I planted 2 days ago, and I'm going to keep going across. You can see I have quite a wide area here. I'm going to leave an area for those yellow ones, but my red raspberries will all be moved to this section, and then the wood chips will be put down. I've got piles of old leaves for mulch. I've got a big pile back there that's been wintered now for a whole winter. Some more compost, and then we have to clean out the chicken coops and turkey coops once the tractor's fixed. So this area, obviously, I didn't get to last fall. That'll get cleaned up. I'm going to put in 2 more raised beds towards that way, And then eventually I want to put in, where these raspberries are, a raised bed there, and another one up, and that composter will probably be moved. So I'll have a total eventually of 8 raised beds with the back the way it's been. I just have to learn to do things a lot slower pace where I'm not bending as much. And my kids are growing their own gardens now, so I really don't have to do as much as I used to, or as much as I felt I needed to anyway. So this is what I've been working on. This is a week, a solid week. I come out in the morning when I let the chickens out. I move 4 loads. I go back in. I have my breakfast. I have to sit for a little bit, let my back decompress. I'll play with my baby conure and my budgies for a while. Then I come back out and I do 4 or 5 more. I go back in, have lunch, et cetera, et cetera. So I get between 12 and 16 of loads a day done. But if I've learned, it took me 60 years to learn this, that if I push it too far, I'll be down for days, not just a short period of time. So this was way out to about right where my shadow is, right there. And I've raked it up that way. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, Mr. Will came out to say hi. Hi. Oh, Will, you guys spilled your water. I gotta get the hose out. I'll get the hose out as soon as I'm done. I'll get you guys some fresh water. His son there, Billy, who's probably inside sleeping, likes to dump the water over. But see that's kind of a drainage area. We call it our pond. But last year it was completely gone. We had such a terrible drought here that the earth was just begging to get this water soaked up. This will last us at least till August. It just keeps shrinking as it goes. But with the rains last week, it was all flooded up to that post right there. This whole area was underwater, and you could see how much has soaked into the earth since then. And like I said, this pond will be here probably till June, and then it'll start shrinking unless we get some more rain this year, which hopefully we do. But not a whole lot going on out here other than my garden stuff. All right, we got Will some water here. I feel bad, I didn't know they were out. I'm gonna let that overflow a little bit because I like to this is where they like to lay and get wet and get out of the heat and stuff like that. We're not used to this. It's 80 degrees in April, where normally it's like 45. So yeah, we went from freezing weather to 80s in a week. There's a couple of our ducks decided to go back to the pond. Todd and one of his girls. The other one's up in the front here. Nothing much else back here. All right, while I walk to the inside, most of the winter we were dealing with just ridiculous stuff. We had, like I said, we had a severe drought last year. We cannot put a deep well in here. It cannot go more than 30 feet because my property is sitting on a huge vein of pure salt underneath here. You go down more than 30 feet, you'll never hit water. You just hit salt for as far as you can go. So our well kept going dry all winter. There were days where we were, barely able to get a couple bucketfuls out of there, flushing the toilet with a bucket. It was kind of crazy. Our deep well, which sits over there, that pump went out, so we had to replace that pump so that on days when it wasn't too cold, we could pump from that well to that right there where the boulders are. That's our cistern. So we would get some water. It would last a couple of days and then it would be gone. And this year we're going to get smart. We already talked to the well guy, and that pump went out once we finally got water. So we had to have the well guy come out. That was one we could not repair ourselves. He had to bring his well truck out, pull up the pipe, put a new pump on it, redo some wiring in this shed so that we could use the house water. So those were 2 of our big crises this last winter. Not having water, I'll tell you, when you don't have it and you have to haul it, you really appreciate what you have. Even if it's a little bit, you can't do dishes, you can't do laundry, you can't take a decent shower. I mean, literally, the showers we could take were turn the water on, get wet, turn it off, soap up, rinse off, get the heck out of there. You're in there for 3 minutes with water because you simply don't have any. We had a washer dryer go out. That's waiting to go to the dump. Of course, we had to put new tires on that before we can go to the dump. So you know how it goes. You get one thing, it just kind of a series of things that you have to get done. But this is a mess in here. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet because I have no tractor. Oh, I got this girl up here is trying to go broody on me. I keep kicking her out. This is Angela. She used to be one of my daughter's chickens. What do you got under you? You're not keeping those. Okay, sorry. Yep, she's got 4 here. Well, she didn't lay them. Somebody else did, I'm sure. But she keeps trying to hog them, and I really don't need any more chickens. As a matter of fact, I super need to downsize. What do we got going on in here? Oh, just my little ones. These are see the little speckled one sitting on the ladder. That's Sprinkles. She's my oldest chicken. She's been here since I moved here in 2015. Those little 4 hang out together. It's funny how they segregate themselves into little groups or cliques or whatever you want to call them. Do we have any eggs in here? Nope, nobody's using that one yet. All right. Now, out that door, which I have tied up, is my blind turkey and Mr. White. They could be inside, I don't know. But she has a small area back there. There she is. That girl has just a little bit of vision in one eye, and that's Barry. They have a fenced-in area. She knows that she can follow the fence around and get back in. Oh, look, I got eggs back there I got to go get. Can you see them? All right, so the chickens all don't lay where they're supposed to, that's for sure. And Angela's mad at me now. I've got more eggs back in that corner. I have to climb over and get in a few minutes. Looks like 3, I don't know if they're turkey or duck eggs, and then 3 of my new chickens. And then nobody's laid in there yet. So I'm getting a good dozen a day, which is fine. So that's about all that's going on in here. Not a whole lot. Like I said, it's a pretty big mess. We had some pretty big windstorms, and things I had picked up, like these bags, got all blown all over the place. But that'll get cleaned up as the time goes on. And the turkeys are all coming back this way. There's 2 more of my ducks. I don't know what else to tell you. We're doing pretty good. You know, we had a lot going on in the winter that had nothing to do with, you know, it was just trying to live basic life without, without water. It was really difficult, but we're doing okay now. Oh, see Todd there? He's back out front. Mr. Todd was raised by that turkey right there, so he still thinks it's his mama. She hatched, I bought the ducks because she was sitting on eggs that I didn't want her to, so I gave her baby ducks and she's happy. And some of our ducks got killed last year, in the last 2 years. Anyway, this is it. You can see what they did to the trees. Like I said, we're gonna make these much better. Like that tree right there, all the stuff going straight up. Eventually we're going to take all those down so it stays nice and low, but we didn't want to kill the trees by taking off too much. And the rest of it's just a lot of spring cleaning once we get all the other things done that need to get done around here. So anyway, that's my little place. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a wonderful day.